I'm about to show you the single craziest theory on the internet, and it connects a famous YouTuber to the royal family, the Pope, and the Prince of Darkness. This is the insane story of how millions of people are convinced Trisha Paytas' babies are reincarnated celebrities. This is a story so wild it shouldn't even be real. But with Trisha Paytas, chaos is basically her job. If you've seen her videos, you know things get crazy. But no one could have predicted the theory that her womb is a portal for the souls of dead celebrities. And just to be clear, we are not talking about real ghosts. We are breaking down how an internet legend is born. We are going to show you the step-by-step timeline of how a single joke turned into a massive conspiracy that literally restarts every time she has a baby. We're analyzing celebrity news, memes, and Trisha's wild personality to see how this story got so huge. This is how the internet writes history. It all started in September 2022. The entire world was watching the news about Queen Elizabeth II. And then, on September 8th, she passed away. It was one of the biggest news events in decades. But in the middle of all of that, Trisha Paytas announced she was in labor. For 99% of people, these two things had absolutely nothing to do with each other. But for the internet, the timing was just too perfect. A joke started on Twitter and TikTok, and it went from a few people to a global meme in just hours. What if Queen Elizabeth was being reincarnated as Trisha Paytas' baby? The idea was so insane, the internet had to run with it. There were literally memes showing the Queen's soul flying to America to become this baby. Then, on September 14th, Trisha gave birth to her daughter, Malibu Barbie. The baby being born just 6 days after the Queen's death was all the proof the internet needed. The Trisha Paytas reincarnation theory was officially born. It wasn't serious, it was a joke about how insane the timing was. Trisha herself got so overwhelmed. She posted a TikTok saying, "I did not rebirth the Queen of England." She wanted to avoid drama, but instead got caught in a massive troll storm. But the meme was already out of control. It was the ultimate mashup. The British monarchy and an internet icon famous for chaos. For a conspiracy this big to survive, it has to get even bigger. After the Malibu Barbie craziness, the meme went quiet. The internet was waiting to see what would happen next. Was this just a one-time thing, or was this a pattern? And then, Trisha got pregnant for a second time. In May 2024, Trisha's second daughter, Elvis, was born. But this time there was no perfectly timed celebrity death to go with it. And this is where things get even crazier. Instead of the theory dying, the internet started looking for a celebrity to fit the story. They chose Pope Francis. For months, news outlets had reported on the Pope's bad health, so the internet decided he was the next reincarnation. But there was one huge problem. Pope Francis was still alive. Normally, this would kill a theory. But this is the internet. So the joke changed. Instead of it being a reincarnation, the meme became about predicting who would be next. This was a massive turning point. The theory was no longer just a funny coincidence. It was now a running challenge that the internet refused to let die. People even started joking about King Charles after his cancer diagnosis came out around the same time Trisha announced she was pregnant. It proved the audience wasn't just watching anymore. They were trying to write the next chapter themselves. If the second baby was a test, the third baby was the grand finale. The theory was about to get its most insane piece of evidence ever. On July 22nd, 2025, Trisha announced her son, Aquaman Moses, was born. And on the exact same day, rock legend Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, passed away. This was the moment the conspiracy went from a joke to something people were calling not coincidental anymore. The timing was, again, unbelievable. For everyone following the meme, this was the ultimate proof. We went from a queen to rumors about the Pope to the lead singer of Black Sabbath. The internet absolutely exploded. Social media was filled with thousands of comments like, "Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, welcome Aquaman." The theory was no longer just for a few people online. It was so big that major news outlets were reporting on it. Aquaman's birth locked in the legend. The first baby was the spark, the second was the test, and the third was the explosion that turned this joke into an undeniable prophecy. The theory now had 3 insane reincarnations, and each one was crazier than the last. And in the middle of all this is Trisha Paytas, watching her own kids become a global inside joke. And her reaction has been a mix of confusion, laughing it off, and being genuinely worried. On her podcast, Just Trish, she's talked about it over and over again. After the memes about the Pope, she said, "I just don't get it. Is it just any influential person that dies gets to come reincarnate as my baby?" And she has a point. The meme was getting bigger and bigger. Even though she sometimes plays along, she's also said she wants her kids to be seen as their own people, not just jokes. After the speculation about King Charles, she said that she gets the meme of it all, but it also terrifies me that people believe in it enough. In one video, she begged her fans to leave my babies alone before joking, "My womb is not that powerful." Or is it? This is what makes it so interesting. Trisha is both the main character of the joke and a player in it. Her entire career is built on being unpredictable. Her reactions make you remember that behind all these crazy memes, there's a real family with real kids. So why did this theory become one of the biggest on the internet? It's a combination of three simple things that created the perfect storm. First, our brains are built to find patterns. The timing of the Queen's death and Malibu Barbie's birth was the perfect hook. Even when the next connection was a total stretch, that first one was so strong, people wanted to believe the pattern was real. Second, this theory was made for TikTok. You can explain the whole thing in 30 seconds. A picture of the Queen, then Trisha, then a baby with some viral music. This lets the theory spread to millions of people instantly, without anyone needing to check the facts. The memes are literally the entire story. And the last most important part, Trisha Paytas herself. This would never work with any other celebrity. Trisha has a long, chaotic history online. Her audience expects the unexpected from her, and they love being part of the story. This theory is basically a giant fan fiction project written by the entire internet. At the end of the day, the Trisha Paytas reincarnation theory is a new kind of folklore. It's not about actually believing her kids are reborn celebrities. It's about the fun of being part of a giant, insane, global inside joke. It proves that a simple coincidence can be spun into an epic story that blurs the line between real life and entertainment. So I have a challenge for you. What do you think? Is this the funniest running gag on the internet, or is something actually going on? And the biggest question, who is next? Let me know your craziest theories in the comments below. From a simple joke about the Queen of England to a massive story involving the Pope and the Prince of Darkness, this theory shows how creative and powerful the internet can be. This is a legend written in real time by millions of people who just wanted to be part of the fun. So is any of it real? No, of course not. It's a massive conspiracy theory and a work of fiction. But just because it isn't real doesn't make it any less incredible. It shows us that memes are the new folklore and how one person can become the star of a story they never even asked for. And as for what's next for Trisha, we can only expect the unexpected. The internet is watching, waiting for the next chapter.